Okay.
Okay, so it looks like the waiting room has slowed down. So we will go ahead and call this meeting to order for Greenfield Lakes Owners Association at 6:01 p.m. We do have quorum of all 5 board members. So then we would be on to old business reelection. Cody, I give it to you.
Awesome. Hey, everybody. All right, guys. So top of today's meeting is to talk about the re-election and the concerns that have been going on across the community with the ballots for the last election. I can personally tell you the board has been working their tails off the last, gosh, it's been a little while, working hard to put together a good plan that we feel is actionable and should help make sure that as we do this, that it's done in a way that everyone feels confident and can stand behind. I have a little we put together a deck to kind of go over the meat and potatoes of it. Before I do that, Jill, Marcus, John, Alex, you guys have anything you want to add before we jump into it, or?
No.
Yeah.
No.
Real quick, Cody, just to kind of dovetail off of what we've done, I've been compiling some data, and since late May, we've approved 22 architectural requests, everything from landscaping to paint, to even a neighbor putting in an ADU in their backyard, which is a casita. The board has consistently delivered on approvals, approving all but one ARC request in less than a week. And it's a testament to how much we've worked, how much we have sacrificed to make sure our neighbors know that we're working for them. If you follow the ARC process, you get approved, you go through the right steps, we'll work towards approval together. So I just wanted to throw that out there because it was interesting to me to see the amount of ARCs we've gone through and how quickly we've approved them. So I just wanted to make note of that on top of what you had already said about how much time and effort we've put into this board.
That's good facts to have. I appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Cody, I apologize. I've got something that I've written up that gives some summarization of what we've done. I don't know if I should wait until we pivot after discussion, or if we should. It's related to the things that I have been able to discover and the things that you and I have worked on to investigate, along with our rest of our board. Should I wait and hold off on that until after discussion?
Good question. Whatever you feel is best. Obviously, I'd like to get some context what we've been doing. So your call, I think.
Let's go ahead and have the discussion first, and then I'll share that info.
Okay. Awesome. John, Jill, anything before we we have Brooke pull up the deck?
Pull up what?
The presentation.
Yeah. Before Alex starts discussing what he was proposing, my question is, how much relevancy does it have to this situation we're dealing with tonight, the re-election?
So this is in addressing the how we got here, why we are here. There's multiple homeowners that are asking that, figured that it was worth bringing up in the call. So I'll reserve that and hold off until after we've had our discussion.
Okay.
Awesome. Okay, thank you, Alex. All right, guys, I think everyone can see, I can see it on my screen, so I'm guessing everyone else can. We'll keep it kind of short and sweet. So Brooke's gonna go to the next slide. This one just this is the cover page. So let's be upfront about it, right? The purpose of the re-election is to ensure a fair and honest election for Greenfield Lakes. That's what we want, that's what we need, and that's what the board is committed to doing. Our plan is to redo the previous election with secure voting options and no involvement from the board or management. The idea is to be fully managed by Election Buddy. And this is based on legal advice from senior leadership within our legal firm, CHDB. They helped us craft this and put this plan together in what's the word? In a format that made sense for everybody. Next slide, Brooke. So first thing we want to get into, right, is there is obviously a lot of concerns with the past election and how the ballots were process, submitted the whole thing. So the first thing we wanted to address as a group was how we're going to handle voting options for the reelection. We came to the consensus that there are two paths we need to follow. The first is electronic, just like the last election. Coming from Election Buddy, you can vote via mobile, tablet, or PC. All of these votes will be tallied by Election Buddy. The Election Buddy account is going to be set up and owned by the association. It is going to be a private account that the board will actually purchase for the association and sign the rights to, and it will not be the same account that management had used for the last election. This will be a private account just for the Greenfield Lakes. And then the administrator is going to be our senior partner again at CHDB Law. So that's for the electronic. In-person voting, we're taking a little bit different approach. So we're going to do in-person voting, in-person events with paper ballots. These will be held at a local venue somewhere nearby. The goal is to have 3 different events where any homeowner can go to the event. You bring proof of valid ID. It'll actually be a notary who will be handling it. They will have a blank ballot there. Homeowner will fill it out. It gets notarized by the notary. Then at the end of that session, the notary will send all of the paper ballots directly to Election Buddy to then tally and count for the association. As we get going into this, when we send out the actual election notice, it will cover the dates, the times of all of the in-person events for the voting. The key here is the notary will have the blank ballots. The owner will sign it and give it back to the notary. So there is no blank ballots floating around the neighborhood or anywhere. It keeps it really secure, keeps them locked up, and keeps them private. Next page. And here is the timeline. So voting is going to open on September 23rd. We will announce the in-person voting days with the same as the mail election comes, the mail notice comes out. It will include the dates and times and location of the in-person voting events. And then the voting is going to close on October 14th. This is the same amount of time that the last election had. And then we've also had to account for the amount of time Election Buddy needs to set everything up and do everything prior to that event, which is why these dates are where they're at. So again, election starts on September 23rd and closes on October 14th. And the election results will be announced on October 22nd at 6 p.m. Something the board unanimously agreed upon was that we again wanted senior partners from CHDB Law to be the one who makes this announcement and does all this. It shares the actual the election results with the community. Next page, Brooke. And then this is the finish, the final meeting where the results will be announced. This is going to be an in-person meeting at the Gilbert Southeast Regional Library at Greenfield and Guadalupe, October 22nd, 6 p.m. Again, it's going to be hosted by Mark Saul, who is one of the senior partners. I think he's one of the founders of CHDB Law. And he will have the results straight from Election Buddy. They will not be given to the board, management. It'll be he who has them, and that is it. Again, this will be an in-person event. Brooke, the library what's the size of this room it holds? I think you said 200?
200, yeah.
200. So we made sure we've got a big room because we are expecting a pretty large turnout for this. And yeah, so that's kind of the high level of what the board has put together. Again, mailed notices will be coming out in the coming weeks with all the specifics with how to do electronic voting, in-person voting, all the dates, times that will be coming in the mail shortly, along with candidate bios and all the normal stuff you would expect with an election.
I have a question, Cody.
Yeah.
The in-person ballot announcement, is there a way for the people that can't make it there? Are we going to be putting in a Zoom call or something to where they can telecast in and listen or see the live event?
It's a good call. I don't know if we discussed it as a group. I think we should absolutely discuss if there's a way to do a virtual dial-in as well. Okay. Is that something we should? I mean, I assume we'd all be in agreement with doing that. but how we do that would be the bigger question. I'm not a big tech guy, so.
I'm happy to look into taking the time to figure that out, make sure that we've got that figured out for the meeting.
I just want to clarify, it was listed as the attorney as the administrator. We need to clarify that the only thing the attorney is going to be doing in this is signing the contract. Yes, he's called the administrator, but it's not the same administrator role that Focus had in the last election. The attorney will not be able to access any of the system during the vote, look at who's voted, who hasn't, anything like that this time around. Election Buddy, once the voting starts, Election Buddy is in complete control, and Election Buddy will be acting as the administrator of the election itself.
Thank you for that, Jody. I appreciate that clarification. One thing that did come up, the CHDB, they can't directly sign the contract. That association has to sign that, but they will be the one who collects the final results, like you said, and nobody will have access to that. So that came down from Mark Saul this morning. I apologize, I haven't forwarded that out yet.
So who actually is going to sign it then? You or what?
It assume it has to be one of us. It doesn't matter to me who does it. So, or we can have multiple people sign it. Whatever everyone's comfortable with.
Okay.
So.
Is that the last slide, Cody?
Yeah, that's the last slide. It was short and sweet.
I
so I just wanted to go high level.
Okay, I think at this time maybe we let Alex give his information that he's collected, and it now becomes, I guess, more relevant. Having heard the process that we're going to do now, he maybe want to give the background.
Yeah, so if it's okay, I'll go ahead and get started with what I got here. So just to get some context here, there's been a lot of homeowners that I've interacted with that I've also heard that are very concerned about our inability as a board or otherwise to confirm, deny, fess up to whatever you have for the validity of the declarations that have been made by others that there were in fact ballots that were not signed by their original homeowners. We investigated this a lot. As a matter of fact, on July 2nd, I was invited with my wife to go and visit a particular couple that we knew that lives in the neighborhood to meet with a influential member of what was then known as the grassroots group, to be presented with 64 ballots that we were presented with. Those 64 ballots were qualified as questionable based off of a couple of metrics. In particular, they were ballots that did not have a serial number in the bottom right-hand corner, or the ballots had signatures that looked similar to each other, or to my recollection, ballots did not have the unique homeowner's handwriting fill out the entire ballot. Based off of the information that I was given, which to me at that point, some was compelling and other things I knew to not in fact be illegitimate or illegal for that matter, I was put into a difficult decision to decide how to proceed, largely because upon being presented with this information, I was instructed, or not instructed, I apologize, I was asked to not inform the rest of the board about these ballots, and that there was impending lawsuit that would be coming, and that there was also other evidence that I was not privy to at that moment, but that I would learn about in discovery, as what it was called. So based off of that information and based off the fact that I had not personally gone through the ballots, and knowing that only 64 of the ballots out of the total 270 ballots were investigated as scrupulously as these 64 were, I knew that there was not enough reason at that point in time to make any declaration that any foul play was involved at that point in time. So the following day, I informed the president of our board, Cody Spence, and let him know about the situation. And as a fiduciary, I've said this many times and I will harp on it many more times. As a fiduciary, please remember, we are responsible for acting in the best interest of our association. And due to the very complicated situation that I found myself in, felt that it was necessary to fulfill my fiduciary duty by informing the president of our board and investigating and seeking legal counsel at that point in order to further understand what our options were and how we should proceed. So since that was on July 2nd and we were faced up against a 4-day weekend due to Independence Day, we had little time to be able to speak to any outside representation. And since we did not have a retainer with other representation, we sought out CHDB Law, another representative within the firm that represents us, to get their advice and proceeded as such. That following Monday, received a complete copy of the ballots, expedited as a request from Focus in order to investigate those personally, pour through all of the ballots myself. I was presented with 157 ballots. Those 157 ballots were all photocopies or digital copies of the original paper copies. And upon investigating those, after multiple weeks, multiple months, as a matter of fact, into investigating this alongside Cody and with the help of the rest of our board in the discussions that we've had as executive board meetings, we've been able to get to the point that we are at now today, which is what we believe is the right decision to make given all of the circumstances. Unfortunately, as I have said before publicly, I did say it in the last meeting, just a little bit past the hour mark, that there is, in fact, in my opinion, very obviously wrong things involved with some of these ballots. I would go so far as saying myself, they are fraudulent in nature, and therefore gave the justification for why I suggested that we proceed with a re-election in the first place. So I hope that that explains a little bit about why we are here and why we have decided to make this decision. And I would ask you, if there is any additional concern, questions, please feel free to reach out to me outside of this meeting. You can reach me at contact@ablack.io, and I will be happy to correspond with you and meet with you even if you would like to discuss this further. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Alex. One thing I will also add is, in addition to what Alex just mentioned, and with that, I have personally spoken to 8 to 10 homeowners who have confirmed that the signature on the ballot that is in the, what is it, Alex? Is it 10?
11.
Sorry, 11. Sorry, I don't have it in front of me. 11 homeowners who have confirmed the signature on the ballot that was submitted is not their signature. So it's hard for me as a board member to argue that when I've got a homeowner directly telling me I didn't sign that, which is, again, to second Alex, why I feel that doing the re-election is the right thing to do for the association.
I think the number of people who have stated they did not sign their ballot, that their name was forged, is more like 22 that have said, no, that's not my signature.
We have heard that.
So,
we're quoting based off of our independent investigation. We just wanted to fulfill the promise that we made in the last board meeting that we would continue to look into this.
Yeah, I'm not saying there couldn't be more at all. Those are the ones I've been able to personally connect with. In addition to who, spoke up on the last call and whatnot. So.
Which, thank you, by the way, for those that spoke up.
Yes, very much. So.
Okay, so any further discussion on the matter before we go to, I believe that we had discussed the potential for giving comments a minute, each commenter. Is that correct?
Yes.
I believe so.
1 minute per homeowner. Yes.
On the topic of the re-election only, correct? Only on this, no other additional information, only on the plan that is being brought forth, correct?
Correct.
Yes, please.
Per state statute, correct.
Okay. AGH, I'm asking to mute, and you will have 1 minute to speak.
Hi, this is Amy Homan. I am glad that we are going to go forward with the reelection. I am just wondering, will we be able to add, change, whatever the candidates? Because I know my husband is not interested in being a candidate, and I am too sick to do such.
Brooke or Cody, you want to answer that question? Or do we answer this right now, Brooke?
So I can answer it. No, there will be no changes. It will be all people that originally won the original ballot. It's a
Well, who
revote of
decides that?
the board
Why
does.
did you? Why doesn't
So-
sound okay? Not you hear from the board,
So
not
let
you.
me jump in, Amy. So yeah, so to Brooke's point, so to keep it as fair as possibly can, legal highly recommended we keep it exactly the same original candidates. However, if a candidate who was on the last election does not want to run, like you stated, your husband does not, in the event your husband is chosen and he wins a seat, he would just simply decline that offer and it would go to the next person in line.
Yes.
That's based on legal.
Yes.
Well, there was a few people who wanted to run and they were not aware of it. They can't be put in.
No, unfortunately not. The advice, the legal advice that we have been advised on and that we do feel is the best route forward is to keep the ballot exactly the way it was in order to replay the
With
election.
a lawyer that has been suing our homeowners.
No, incorrect. We are using the same law firm, but we are not using the same lawyer as the one that you may be familiar with, Mr. Ebertshauser.
Mm.
I will be placing you back on mute. Thank you.
Thank you for the comment, Amy.
Appreciate it.
Okay. Scott, I'll be asking you to unmute.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, I'm good. Okay, I three-parter here. First of all, I'd like to address the issue of the Zoom in kind of vote situation. If a person can't show up in person, I can appreciate that. However, if that same person has the ability to Zoom, that same person has the ability to go online and vote online. So I would say there is just no purpose whatsoever of having some sort of a Zoom person vote in situation, because if you have the ability to use a computer for Zoom, you certainly can go online and do your vote online properly that way, or obviously be driven in to vote somewhere. Two, off brush, I will offer the golf course location as location for a person to be there. Is the location to vote at free of charge, obviously, no problem, and you can have your registered person there to take those votes in, and I have that. And on Amy's commentary, I would like to state that Amy, what I would suggest for her, since her husband is in his situation, she's in her situation, that she can post some signs up anywhere, golf courses, houses, whatever, says, if you want to vote for me, I don't want your vote, please vote for, and then add whoever you feel you would want in your place in lieu of you, would be my commentary on that situation. Since fiduciary got brought into the situation by one of the board members, I feel like it is available for me to speak about that. I think is against fiduciary responsibility. Of course. Thank you so much. You are such a wonderful person.
Scott, please reach out to me via email. If
I think we need to let Scott talk. I mean, he got cut off mid-sentence there. That's not right. Please let him finish your comment.
Hold to that 1 minute for everybody. We can't make special rules for anyone.
Oh my God. Okay.
We set those rules.
So
You guys are just afraid. You guys just are afraid of what he's going to say. That's all.
There's nothing to be afraid of. It's just simply got to.
I am not afraid. And Scott, please reach out to me. Contact.
I thought we weren't supposed to be contacting and talking
We
about
absolutely
board
can
stuff.
reach homeowners. So please reach me at
Mhm.
contact@ablack.io. Thank you, Scott. Appreciate it.
Art,
I
I'm
mean,
asking
Scott,
you to-
one clarification, it was something Scott said. You had a great point about the Zoom, and I just want to clarify. What was referenced was not voting over Zoom, Scott, or any of the homeowners. It was for the final meeting on the 22nd. If you can't attend that meeting in person, being able to view it via Zoom. That's what we were referring to, because to your point, there's no need to do the voting via Zoom. I don't think we can do that. It's just in reference to attending the final meeting on the 22nd in Zoom is what we're discussing.
Correct. And the closing date of the election is already before that date of the meeting.
Yes.
Right, of course.
Art, I'm asking, oh, you're unmuted. Go ahead, Art.
Yes, this is Art, one of 785 residents of the community. I'd like to express my sole opinion that I'm very disappointed that we're having a re-election to address the concerns of 5 very selfish people who have got maybe 30 followers. There's 750 homeowners who don't have the same representation. I'm just very, very disappointed that that it's come down to this. It's not up to the board. I'm sure you guys are just doing the best you can, but now that we've come down to the tail wagging the dog, it's just very, very sad. Thank you.
Thank you, Art.
Thank you, Art.
Thank you, Art.
Jonathan, asking you to unmute. Your timer is starting. Go ahead, please.
Oh, can you hear me? Okay. I think the biggest concern going forward is just the validity of the next election. What Art May said is funny, that he thinks fraud that's been validated. It's not 5, it's not 11, it's 22. People have come forward and said, these aren't my signatures. In addition, there are rules to voting, and people's ballots were pre-filled in for the 5 of that are sitting on the board now. So going forward, the biggest thing is just for a community to heal and be okay with everything that's presented. There was criminal activity. We can't identify who did it. We just want validity in the next election. We want fairness, those kind of things. How can we ensure that's going to happen with the same law firm, with the notary, with the paper ballots, et cetera, or are all the paper ballots then turned into election buddy, and then who inputs those?
Jonathan, thank you. Your minute is up.
Thank you, Jonathan.
Cody, you want to respond to the paper ballot question though?
Yeah, I was gonna let Alex or Jill, since you guys have been kind of the election buddy leaders, can you answer that one for Jonathan?
Jill, go ahead.
So election buddy is going to run it from start to finish. There is not going to be any entity or person who will be able to go into the system and look and see who voted, who hasn't, what the tally is. It's just completely out of our hands. Once the voting starts, we set it up. Election buddy is the administrator. Yes, it's unfortunate that the attorney got named as the administrator, because now the impression is out there that Mark Saul is going to, you know, act as administrator like Focus did. It's not correct. We're setting it up so that it's completely out of any outside party's hands. Election buddy runs it start to finish. The paper ballots will be notarized. The notary is going to send them to election buddy, and election buddy will be counting them. The notary will send them after each session that we have. They're not going to hold on to them. They'll be put in an envelope and mailed directly to election buddy. So there's not going to be any paper ballots carried around to neighbors, copied, you know, turned in stacks. It's not going to be that way this time. If you want to vote in person, you come, you show your ID, your ballot's notarized. So
Doesn't get more legit than that.
Yep. Thank you, Jill.
mm-hmm.
Not see any more hands. If there's nothing else forward, you are free to call to adjournment. Oh, hold on, one just popped up.
I had-
Katie asking you to unmute.
Hello. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Okay. I just wanted to express, that I'm happy, I guess, with the way that, the new election is going to be run. I guess my only question would be, being that we have acting board members, are all like the invoices and everything, is everything up to date, or are we going delinquent because nobody can make decisions right now? That would just be like a question, on different bills that the community might have, like who is acting on that behalf, and if there are any outstanding bills, like how they're being handled. That would be my question.
So I can let Brooke speak to that, or I can speak to it. It doesn't.
I can speak. I can answer that. So under the contract, we pay all bills for the association. So there's no projects that are happening that are being paid, but the monthly bills are all being paid, and there's no delinquent.
Okay.
Are you allowing Reeve speak or not?
Why not?
Yeah, it's fine. I'd like to hear Scott.
But you're asking to unmute.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yep. Go ahead.
Yep.
Yeah, okay. The water bill didn't get paid for June. And when I called Harmon, he said that I have to call my attorney to call their attorneys to call Harmon to tell them to pay the bill, which has been in default for 60 days. And I don't know why I have to call an attorney, and that's going to add on to the bill. Why should the HOA be paying more money for attorneys to pay a bill? It is in default, and Harmon told me he could no longer speak to me. I was told that I have to use my attorneys to speak to him. I could no longer ask for where my bill payment was. I'm looking at a lot of blank stares. Can you not hear me?
No, I can
Nope,
hear
we
you.
can hear you. No
Can hear you.
discussion can be discussed. You're with the
That's a
attorney,
past due
so.
bill. You just literally claimed you didn't have any past due bills, but you do.
Scott, you have 3 checks. That's all I'm going to say.
No,
It's-
We cannot discuss this. It's under executive session. I'm sorry, board.
Okay. Okay, I will motion to vote on this election plan.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right.
Hi.
Motion carries unanimously. Thank you. Okay. With nothing else, board, you may call to adjournment.
Cody, did you call for adjournment?
Yeah, sorry. I will call for adjournment. Sorry.
I second.
At 6:35. Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Hi.
Your
Aye.
motion carries unanimously. Thank you all for joining.
Thank you.
Thanks, everybody.